How do animals choose their partners? Do they have criteria like us? Reproduction is undoubtedly a necessary fact. Animals don't just use instinct to reproduce. Especially animals with developed social skills can act more consciously. The choices they make shape evolution. The evolution of colors, patterns, dances, and exciting behaviors in nature. The ruthless rivalries between animals are based on the concern for survival. Every creature wants to live longer and pass on its genes. To do so, they can engage in brutal struggles and deadly conflicts. This desire develops instinctively but is supported by cognitive skills. Not all animal species behave in the same way, of course. They are all unique. This behavior of animals is also an important part of their evolution. Their instincts largely influence the choices they make. But it remains to be seen how much the cognitive behavior of animals influences their choices. The basic workings of sexual selection. In the animal kingdom, males often compete for mating with females. The female usually wants to mate with the winner. The winner is better suited to continue the lineage. Each animal species has its own unique ways of fighting. Males show their skills to impress females, such as dancing, singing, giving gifts, and winning the fight. On the other hand, the more impressive the colors, sounds, movements, and shapes that males have, the more likely it is that females will be impressed. In some bird species, female birds even choose their partners based on the attractiveness of the nests built by males. All this is natural and is referred to as sexual selection. Similar rules govern the mechanism of sexual selection in nature. For example, it is basic biology that there are physical differences between males and females, including genitalia. Due to variations in mate choice, dimensional differences between males and females of animals often become very pronounced. This phenomenon of differences in size, shape, color, etc. between male and female animals is called sexual dimorphism. Such careful partner selection by females can also lead to extreme physical characteristics in nature. In nature, for example, there are many animals with distinctive and special shapes, such as peacocks, orangutans, lions, and deer. The males of these animals always have exaggerated physical characteristics. But sexual selection is not the only thing that determines the physical characteristics and behavior of both male and female animals. Sexual selection is an important part of evolution, but it is insufficient on its own. Therefore, all the factors that influence the evolution of animals must be taken into account. Animals can develop physical characteristics and behaviors for many purposes, such as self-defense, camouflage, communication, feeding, protection, sleeping, resting, etc. Nevertheless, sexual selection can sometimes override natural selection. For example, we can think of male lions killing weak cubs of females to prepare them for mating. A lot of scientific work has been done on how sexual selection works, but it is still a matter of debate. These debates are as old as the history of evolutionary theory. In general, we can say that these debates are between hypotheses such as giving birth to offspring with healthy genes or favoring beautiful male individuals simply because they are attractive. The truth is that the reasons why males create such natural beauty may not apply to every animal. Considering that animals have unique social, emotional, and cognitive abilities, it seems more plausible that sexual selection may work differently. In recent years, the role of females in sexual selection and their social abilities have become more prominent. The social behavior and strategies of females play an important role in shaping the gene pool of the species. There are many examples in nature where females are more social, especially in animals such as bonobos, elephants, hyenas, and orcas. So, we have to take social learning into account in sexual selection. So we need to look for answers to the following questions. What is the role of cognitive and social behavior in female mate choice? Do females agree to mate with a male no matter who wins the fight? How do females determine exactly which colors, sounds, dances, or looks they like? Contribution of social learning to sexual selection. The efforts of male animals in nature to influence females by using their own characteristics and how males solve competition among themselves and evolution have been the subject of scientific studies many times. However, there has been less focus on female behavior and preferences in sexual selection. Therefore, there are still many gaps in animal evolution and sexual selection. For example, why is the nature of male animals so diverse and colorful? A new study conducted recently at Florida State University in the USA reached important results on this subject. Researchers mainly focused on one question. If female animals always prefer similar things, why do males have such a variety of characteristics? According to the research, females share their partner selection experiences with each other. So a young female learns which male to choose by looking at experienced females. Researchers also developed a mathematical model to explain some of the gaps in sexual selection theories. This model suggests that inexperienced female animals can infer a male's attractiveness by comparing males to each other. Accordingly, if an experienced female animal is to choose a male, that male must have attractive features that stand out from the others. This could be characteristics of the animal, such as its color, voice, tail, horns, or behavior. These traits may not directly increase survival chances, but they indicate to females that males have better traits. For example, some studies show that lionesses tend to prefer males with the thickest, darkest manes. Lions with dark and thick manes are seen as indicators of experience, maturity, and better qualities. The fact that males compete among themselves and win victories is also supporting this situation. Males use their characteristics to mate with more females. So, behind these features lies the instinct to mate with more females. Excessive mating is an important factor that ensures the continuation of the herd. This also indirectly supports the urge to survive. It is also worth noting that the desire to mate and the reproductive cycle are not the same in all animals. We know that natural habitats are also effective in this. Some animals can mate or reproduce more than other animals. For example, pandas' reproductive cycle and cub development are slow. On the other hand, animals that reproduce by laying eggs can reproduce more. Some animals' mating instincts are more complex and unique. Primates, especially bonobo monkeys, have a complex and social sexual life. In nature, being male is not enough for females to mate. So, we mentioned that males should use their features. This is especially seen in animals that exhibit their characteristics outside of fighting. Although the characteristics of males are very similar, they are not the same. Moreover, in some animal species, males need to use their individual efforts more. Different preferences in sexual selection. If more females begin to develop different preferences in partner selection, the males of that species will evolve according to those characteristics over time. So for example, the fact that female birds prefer brightly colored males may cause males to develop more bright colors. However, it should be noted that females can make mistakes when trying to learn from others. So what consequences could this have? We need to go back to the Florida State University study we talked about on this subject. Research findings show that young females also copy incorrect behavior when choosing a mate. The computer simulation used in the study gave results confirming this thesis. Accordingly, the different preferences of inexperienced young females contribute to the development of male characteristics. For example, when a young female sees an experienced female bird choosing a brightly colored male bird to mate with, a female may believe that this preference is because of the male bird's long tail. As a result, if different preferences like this become widespread among other young females, the characteristics of the males may also change in that direction. In other words, the choices made by females may highlight some characteristics of males while leaving others behind. This also affects the sexual selection behavior of females. However, we know that this adaptation in sexual selection sometimes leads to negative consequences. The extreme characteristics of males can lead to their death. For example, the upper canine teeth of male babiruses grow by piercing the upper part of the nose and curling towards the forehead. Sometimes the teeth of fully developed old babiruses grow to penetrate the skull, causing the animal's death. Another example is that the horns of some sheep and goats grow excessively and curl up, piercing the face. Although such situations do not always result in death, they can cause serious injuries. Various errors such as these, which are undesirable but somehow develop, can occur in nature. But evolution is unplanned. It doesn't always make sense. Its progress is based on life in its simplest sense. Therefore, it usually manages to maintain the natural balance to sustain life. This shows that evolution is an ever-changing and dynamic process. As a result, there are still many gaps in animal evolution. There is a need for research that can explain the functioning of sexual selection and the behavior of male-female animals by covering many different factors such as the species, history, natural living conditions, biological characteristics, social life, and cognitive abilities of the animals. We must also take into account that each animal species has its unique nature, that evolutionary changes in animals have many factors other than sexual selection, and that there may be animals that can live outside the generally accepted rules. In this video, we tried to show the role of sexual selection in evolution and the importance of the role of female animals in partner selection. You can contribute by expressing your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. See you in the next video.